dark. Good Lord.
Good morning. I am higher vibrations, and so are you. And thank you all so much for joining us today. There's some amazing things occurring. Most of us are feeling all kinds of energy coming in and having a lot of different kinds of ascension symptoms and things like that. And we'll get into it. This will be a fun conversation. Not even sure what we're really going to be talking about. But first, I want to introduce my guest, as all of you probably already know, Guardians from Transylvania. So welcome, Guardian. How are you today?
Yeah, it's great to be here. Like, we're going to talk about a lot of ascension symptoms going on. Like, we're just talking about, like, I was half an hour ago, I was thinking about, like, am I going to be able to do this or not? Because energetically and physically, like, we're going through a lot. And I'm happy to hear that I'm not the only person. So it's a relief. So please, Yolanda, continue.
Ah, yeah, on that subject, right? Yeah, you're definitely not the only person. So I am also extremely happy to be here. However, experiencing major symptoms. Mine have actually eased up. Guardian, you might be more in the thick of it because I was late to this conversation. But last night, actually, it started about 2 days ago, but last night it got really bad. So everyone, I woke up, just spontaneously popped out of bed about 2ish this morning and haven't been back to sleep. Okay. But yeah, and we've been in and out. I'm saying we because I'm assuming for you guys, I should say but I think it might be more than just me. Have been in and out of the bathroom frequently. I've got Apple reserves here for energy. And this is a lot of information, but Pamela, it's actually something, and Guardian, you might have something to say about this too, but I have a few things I want to mention that the Arturians came through with. Pardon me stumbling over my words, but that the Arturians came through with for all of us on this very topic.
Okay, well, if you'd like, go on.
Yeah, please
You
share.
mean go for it? Okay, because I'm extremely interested. I'm extremely interested to know what you guys are also going to say about these cosmic alignments. Just so you know, I was excited to hear about that because that is a
You want me to tell you
territory.
first? Or you want to talk first?
Well, that's up to you. I just wanted to let you know how excited I was to hear it.
Yeah.
I can definitely start some of these messages first if you want me to. No problem. But I'm super excited to hear how this is going to be reflected by these cosmic alignments, this stellar situation we're having.
Let's hear
So
it.
yeah, I won't go through all of them because it could get kind of long, but I'm just going to start. I'll skip, if you will. Okay. So this is going to be redundant, everyone, but you are going to want to hear this about, again, the lymphatic system. Yes, we've talked about this so much, but okay, how can I describe this? Let me just read how they told me to say it, like verbatim first. They're just saying it's still being used at this time to express denser chemical activity in the body. So a lot of this expression that we're having is directly related to keeping this system clear and unclogged. And the point that they want to make here is about physical movement. You want to retain your physical dexterity. It's a big deal. Okay, preferably in nature, like in a natural setting, because what does in nature mean, right? So in a natural setting, somewhere where there is something green or water or dirt, anything organic in nature. Now, if you can't get to something organic in nature, everybody, this is a different part of the message, okay, but it does relate to this. You can bring nature to you where you are. This has been discussed before too, and many of you will understand this as well. Now, the way that they described it, now, once again, I've forgotten my readers, everybody, just hang on. All right, so this is how they've described it. This physical activity is greatly needed in a natural setting, but regardless of the setting, you can tune into the planet wherever you are. Connect to all aspects of the organic frequencies. I want to be careful to say it that way because that's going to give you a different visual, a different way, something different to think about when you're trying to connect. Think frequency, think vibration, rather than just a visual image first. Okay, it's going to tap into some memory, and this will be much easier. So they're saying, regardless of where you are, tune in with the thought of organic frequencies in mind. The rhythm of the earth is another way they described it. Okay, and so what they want you to connect into is the quantum activity of the earth grid, but Earth herself, whatever you call the planet, it doesn't matter. She doesn't really care. But it does help us connect in different ways. Right. It's still very important per the individual though, you know, but what I'm saying is the planet herself, she doesn't mind. Okay. But connect with that in mind. If you guys happen to be clairvoyant or you are hypervisual, you're probably going to want to visualize something while you're doing this activity. But the bottom line is, you guys, once you connect in wherever you are, just imagine all of this organic activity flowing into you. You can use any sort of meditative state for this as well. Once you achieve this visual or this energetic feeling, just start your activity. Even if it's walking around your house, up and down a flight of stairs, even if you're doing, for many populations, if you're doing chair exercises, something like that, okay? Whatever it is you're doing doesn't have to be big, but tune into the planet. That's going to help these ascension symptoms, by the way, greatly.
Thank you.
That's
And that goes along with what I'm getting too. I've been getting, it's really funny. I know it's silly for me. I feel funny saying it. Like I'm like this fumbly person. I actually had a thing I was doing before called the fumbling gardener. And then it turned out there was somebody else called that. So I changed it. But point is, I've started to try to do this Tai Chi because of this. It's on YouTube. It's not like I'm like, you know, actually, you know, but, and you know, I've been sending a lot of videos lately to people about just like gentle qigong, you know, to start this kind of flow. Because a lot of us live a life in front of a screen, you know, like that's our job. That's my job. I know most of us, that's what we kind of do, you know, and then there's like the running around errand kind of stuff, but that's not much, you know, in contrast to what we need. And so we started to do, with my daughter, I started to do the qigong with her. The Tai Chi is just kind of fun. We're just barely starting that thing. And we've been trying to do that as we wake and then to do it twice a day. And, you know, this lady that we follow, she's this awesome a woman from China. I don't really know exactly the region she's from or anything like that, but these videos are from like 12 years ago. And they're the ones that I was called to. You know, and what I'm saying is this practice about letting your emotion, your energy flow through you right now is exactly what's happening in our bodies. As we purge, our bodies have the physical purging of going to the bathroom. We don't realize it, but we're current in that moment, we're engaging in what is required for us to energetically purge, which is why it happens that way. When our bodies are just it's like there's always an underlying emotional body before there is a physical one. When we get an injury or something happens to our body, you can always search. This is so much fun. There's like ancient Eastern medicine that goes back forever. So you'll find all kinds of resources for free. Is just type in any engine search, if search engine, I mean, type in the area of the body and the emotion connected to it. So what emotion is connected to liver? A lot of people were having this liver stuff. Well, the fear and the anger no longer can be anchored here. And so that area of their body that's responsible for that stuff is saying, hey, please address the fear and the anger now, because we can't stay with you anymore. It doesn't work. And so it just really helps to kind of understand what's going on in the underlying energetic way. And today, by the way, is the superest of the supermoons of the year. It was actually official at 7:13, I think, 7:19 a.m. Central Time. So it is the superest in the daytime, which is really fascinating. And then the next moon we're going to have on the 20th, I believe, is a micro moon. And it's the microest micro moon.
And what does that mean?
There. Yeah. Go ahead, Guardian.
No, I just wanted to ask, like, what does that mean? I never heard of a micromoon, so
Okay.
only supermoon.
It's so the supermoon is when the moon is closest to the earth, so it appears larger. And then the micromoon is the opposite. It's the farthest away. And for it to happen in only a 2-week period like that is worth noting too. It's not very consistent with what normally occurs, you know. And people will notice the supermoon because it's kind of obvious. And then the micromoon, we can look back in retrospect and recognize it, that because it's much more subtle but deeper. I notice, so it's like the exhale and exhale, inhale, back and forth kind of energy that happens there. So it's really cool though. And you'll notice that most like big choices and decisions and kinds of things that we do on a collective scale will occur around a micro moon. It's really fascinating. It's the time when people are inspired to make decisions. So maybe government will come out of lockdown or shutdown.
Exactly. It is worth noting, and with all of this other cosmic activity happening, the decision making is one, but then flipping from one to the other, it's almost like a mirror image. I don't know if you said that, but I was thinking the phrase mirror image. And in such a short amount of time, we're going to go through a lot of energetic upgrades. Once again, it's already happening. You may not have noticed this yet, but there are new skills. You could call them gifts coming in. They're really they're things that are already natural to us that are being uncovered once more. Deeply embedded was the phrase they were giving me, but I wasn't quite sure how to fit it into that sentence. But there are some things very deeply embedded still in the DNA. We think we're almost done, but we're really not. That's the point. We're about maybe a third of the way. Confirmation there that we're going to be about a third. I don't know what you guys think about, how you feel about that. It's almost like we'll be a new species almost when this is said and done in a few decades here.
It's going to be a lot of work. Ascension symptoms going in and out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's meant to be gradual so you can make it there, right? Like it's not meant to be any more shocking to the body than it needs to be, like, and that's why spirit always calls it growing pains, because what we're going through is growing pains, like it's really, and it is worth noting that, although Swan is no longer over us, the rain that came down off that heated sphere that has an orbit of 22,000 years, and so it hasn't been here. It wasn't here when our memory was taken from our water. It was already gone, right? And so now it's raining down its water on us, and it's moving through all the layers of our atmosphere and into our pipes and streams when we get rained on. And everyone's got in this week, while this is happening, there's even places you don't expect it had some type of precipitation, like perfectly aligned for us receiving that flow of that fully aligned memory coded water. That water was here during the last of this. This is the third time too, by the way, the third ascension in mass, and it was here last time that was happening. So there's something there about you being reunited with your gifts. Like that's really been happening, and it has a lot to do with this memory. And that's the last thing I'll say for a minute and let someone else talk, is that you can, it's easier to realize what new information just came in when you acknowledge that you're using your memory, you're remembering. You're not drawing from a new piece of information like we normally are used to doing, like school style, like it's actually in the area of the hippocampus, which has a whole different like rabbit hole to jump down, that I won't go into. But I just saw a rabbit. A rabbit showed up in my yard and no one believes me. They're like, there's no rabbits around here. And like, And it was a white rabbit, and it saw me, and it scattered, and it drew a star in the ground. By scattering, it drew a star and then ran away. I'm like, we're going to have some rabbit holes this week.
And now, and what you're using behind you as the background, as soon as you said it, drew a star and right behind you. Yeah, that is amazing. See, this is what I was looking forward to, this information about the water and the memory, the embedded DNA. It's all coming together. I did get that there were going to be a lot of activations, so potential activations during this live that we're doing here. Guardian, even with you feeling the way that you're feeling, you're still going to be activating people.
I'm
Because
holding
that's
space. Yeah, like, and also regarding the water, it just came, I mean, just had this epiphany. Like, a lot of water is like transiting for our body, at least me personally. Like, I'm super thirsty all the time. Like, I have that huge bowl of water there. And I also, a lot of water is leaving my body too. So I guess like we're refreshing our body's water, I guess.
Yeah.
So, or a lot of cleansing is happening. I'm not sure, but I guess both.
there's something about the tears as well. And I think it was even in the post, the channel from the Arturians today mentioned tears this morning. Let the tears flow. And there was more that they said there, but I can only fit so much of their channel into this tiny little screen thing. So sometimes I'll carry it over and sometimes I'll squeeze it all in there. But there were some things coming through that I kind of negotiated with. Okay, so I left the main quoted part of what they said about the tears. But the point is, the emotional energy is traveling through the tears as well. Those tears are going to hold memory. And so that is, again, and also that still has a lot to do with this. I think they used the word chemical on purpose. They've been kind of getting away from, now, first of all, let me just say up front, I know people like different ways of expressing things. They come from different perspectives. And some people don't like the new age sort of like lingo or vernacular. And some people don't appreciate the biblical relationship and vernacular and history. Everyone has their thing, and that's all okay. But I've noticed the Arcturians are starting to go a bit more neutral with me. And it's because they at large, regardless of who's channeling the Arcturians, they appear to be, once again, thankfully, really, really harping on bringing different groups together. And we do talk about this a lot when I come through here. Because of that, that's the reason. So basically, the scientific community is waking up. Let me just cut to the chase. So the scientific community, meaning many individuals who work within like 4 government institutions. I know I'm saying a naughty word there. And I would agree with that it is indeed naughty, okay? But the individuals that work there are not all one way. They're individuals, okay? They each have their own avenue that they come through. So in other words, the Arcturians are really trying to bring back to light that regardless of someone politically or whether they are religious or not, or, you know, whatever perspective they come from, they have their own journey into an awakening. And for us to be, those of you who will pass through this space, through Pamela and Guardian's sphere of influence, okay, it is very specific. So there will be specific people that come through this sphere of influence, this quantum stream. And the reason it's so specific is because it's only going to attract energies who, even if they don't realize it, are ready for certain information to be expressed through their DNA, which is what we've been talking about. So even people who come to troll, congratulations, you are awakening. Okay, so
In your own way.
right, yeah, it's on its way. So yeah, that's very, very specific. So those of you who are going to pass through here, keep that in mind. There's still a lot of this divisive thought, divisive attention, and focus. Those aren't the words they want to use, but we'll stick with attention, okay? It's not that you can't pay attention to what's going on. Some of you are going to need to in some ways. It's very heart awakening, but it's, are you going through the heart space when you're paying attention to different things happening on the planet? Are you remembering to have compassion for the individual, regardless of what perspective they come through? Because if not only is it not helping the situation, obviously, but you are actually holding yourself apart from the experience that you want to have and want to welcome into your life is what's really happening, okay? So, wow, that sounded way preachier than I wanted, but that is what they wanted to say. Plan to say it.
We're here now in this moment, and that's why there's a lot of people who thought they had food poisoning this week. I've talked to so many people, like, because the level of so Guardian raised his hand just now too, you know, like, this is a big purge, right? And it's scary when you're in it. You're like, what did I do different, you know, like, and there's a level of anxiety that comes in if we don't know everyone's having it. That's why we talk about these things, right? We're not drawing attention to it to amplify it. We're drawing attention to it to resolve it, you know, and that's a chemical perspective shift to, you know, assist in that. So Guardian, did you want to talk about it a little bit more about that experience? Like, what's it been like?
Yeah, like I think you shared that people started reporting it around Sunday or so. I was not aware of it, that this was happening, and I started some kind of detoxing like thing going on for 10 days, and Monday was the first day, and I took those herbal pills that like helps you like flush everything nasty and gunky out of your guts and all that. Oh my god, so it was not a good time to do that because and also like there were some kind of herbal supplements that like assist you in not destroying your gut biome. So I took a lot of new stuff into my system that it was not used to, basically. And oh my god, like after a few hours I became so sick, and I was constantly going to the bathroom even during the night, and around like 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning I woke up that I have to throw up. So it was a rough Monday. But after that it like released. So after that I was okay on Tuesday. Now it's coming back again, so I'm not sure what is happening. And I try not really to eat. I don't feel hungry, to be honest, but I have this thought in my mind like I have to eat something because I'm going to like, I don't know, like get weaker or something, or I'm not going to have as much energy. But regardless, like whatever I put in my body, it just feels like, oh, like it's not good. I don't know. I'm really thinking about just like drinking tea or something for a day or two. So let's see how it works.
Liquid fast almost.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out while you were talking too, that's another correlation that they were making as communities bridge. So there are many people who think that's something more similar to, like, say, a radiation. You guys have maybe heard this, but you know, radiation poisoning, light just starting to happen based on the solar activity, the solar maximum occurring, and combined with these other events, okay, in addition to that. And at a certain level, what the Arturians have been saying is it can be described as such. However, it is not to be feared in the way that you would typically understand in terms of your physical, we have been calling it third dimensional science. By this, we're just referring to the frame of thought required for the 3D organization of different sciences, okay, like what we have so far. Those are the Arturians, okay? But there's an important, that's an important distinction, but there's an important correlation to make here, that even if you're coming into this sort of a space, and I realize the majority of the people, hi everybody in the chat, you guys in the chat, I am aware that this isn't you for the most part. You understand a little bit more, you're a little bit further, actually a lot of it for most of you. Some of you are masters, you have mastery in many things that we wouldn't even know about yet. So I understand that. But there will be other people, even though it doesn't seem like it, even if it doesn't show up in the views, there are going to be people who start to stumble onto this, and it's going to trickle in, and it's more important than we realize. You guys, if you're a creator and you're out there, sorry, Pamela, this is just coming. So if you're a creator and you're out there and you're just starting to make YouTube videos, or you've been making YouTube or on anything, doesn't have to be YouTube. Okay, like you have a website or there's some kind of way through social media that you're communicating or you're teaching, and it doesn't seem like it's catching on. You don't have a big audience yet, whatever, just, the list goes on, right? And you're feeling discouraged, please understand you are important and keep going. If you feel inspired to keep going, this is just the beginning. And 6 or 7 years ago, Guardian, you were probably hearing this too. Pamela, you might have been too, because I met you a little bit later, into my journey here. But they were saying it then, like, this is just beginning. And it's true, but, people might have been thinking, oh, that means 10 years from now. Oh, that means, no, this could be 30 years from now. We are thinking in terms of the way we experience time linearly. So that's one component of why we don't understand why it's taken so long. The second component of why we don't understand why it's taking so long is because we forget continually. These are the Arturians. I sound preachy, but you guys, this is coming from the Arturians. We continually forget that we are also creating the experience. So as things happen, that we from higher perspective begin to need to adjust. Let's just say you can imagine it much like you would imagine an Arturian council, okay? Or the Sirian council. It's not exactly that, okay? But just to give you an idea what this collective conscious is like, we are convening in a different way, consciously, okay? A few different ways, actually, a few different ways. There are collectives of us who convene in the energetic field in a different frequency. I'm letting them give it to me. Okay, so like just in a different frequency state. All right. So not in our physical body, but they mean it's an energetic body that is, if we were to see it, and some of you have seen this before, it would appear like an energy body. It appears like that for many of us who have seen ourselves and other people in the field. It's kind of freaky, okay, but it is true. There are different layers of this. We're operating in a different way where it's not like that for us while we're doing it, but if you were to see it, is what I'm saying, from your physical body, it would probably appear that way. Okay, but our consciousness is also operating. So that's just another level to give you an idea. So we are maneuvering this entire thing. We're getting help from galactics, but we really are in charge. It's important not to forget that. We really, really are in charge of this.
Right.
Yeah, so those are two important things to remember when being concerned with how long this is taking. All right, so honestly, I think I was supposed to be making the correlation with radioactivity and the symptoms, and it went everywhere else. Hope that you guys followed. Yeah.
But yeah, like the sun's radiation can have similar effects, but it's not negative. But yeah, like if you like look up side effects of radioactive radiation, then they are kind of similar. Like you can vomit, all types of intestinal issues, problems with the teeth. I also think someone mentioned it, like popped in here, that people were mentioning their gums and teeth. And last week, I also had some problems with that too, and just like came out of the blue. I don't know, like it just comes and goes. I thought it like correlates with the phases of the moon, but not really. So I'm not sure what is affecting it, but yeah, like for me, it's like comes and goes. Like I experience much tension on my upper teeth for some reason, then it goes away, then it comes back for a few days, and it goes away. And because I like do that like flossing, I notice the gap between my teeth constantly changing. So sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't go in. So and it shifts quite rapidly, just one day from the other. So I'm not sure what's happening. But yeah, like for example, like using coconut oil can really help. So if you're having the same problems, just use coconut oil. It like really relieves the tension and pain and like regenerates everything. So it's really good and simple.
And that, just to give a backstory real quick, that was your finding new gaps and stuff in your teeth is not common. It only just started a little while ago. like since you and I started talking anyway,
Yeah,
a
like
little
a few
while ago,
years
could have been
ago.
5 years ago now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it started to happen around the same time that I started to note, and that's actually the most common ascension symptoms reported right now: right knee, right foot, right hip, the guts, and the teeth or gums. Like
And I want
Yeah,
to
I
that's
point,
noticed the right knee too, and also my wife reported it too to me one day, totally randomly. I was like,
what's up with
yeah, like
that?
same stuff here too. So,
It's so weird. And you know, I I have something to kind of like, I'm sure you guys know this. I hope that I can don't go too long in talking about this. But you guys know about Three Eye Atlas and the Hopi prophecy of the Kachina, right? And
yes.
this is the weirdest part about this though, is I got tuned into this because the Three Eye Atlas came in as blue when we first noticed it just beyond Jupiter. Obviously, they probably noticed it long before they saw that they whatever. But um, anyway, it was blue, and then it changed immediately to red, and then everyone it changed to green for a second, and everyone started calling it the Green Goblin, and it was such a they were forcing that conversation so much that I was like, why are they pushing those words? So I remember having a conversation with Elsa about it. Anyway, it changed right into blue. For my memory, it changed right into blue from that green moment, the Green Goblin moment. And it's been blue all the way until it's got just beyond the sun. But for some reason, now all of a sudden, it didn't turn blue till it just before it disappeared behind the sun. I was there. There was a different way to play it played out. Why is this even important? Is that the red kachina, there's two dancers. The red kachina reveals and cleanses. And the blue kachina is the awakening. And after the two dancers come, then the watchers of 200 arrive. The watchers of 200 are the mirror bearers. They reflect you. So if you are in fear, it reflects fear back, chaos, all that kind of stuff. But it also reflects love, man. And so since January 1st, we've been in a life review. Think about your past couple of months. Everyone's going to say yes. I know it. Like, because the mirror bearers have been here. They're reflecting you, not to make you feel disaligned or unhappy, but so you can see what's under the carpet to clean up. That's all it is. And there's like, oh, you need a little bit more this spice or a little bit more of that. And you're balancing your scales. And what's the most amazing thing about all of this, the alignment and timing of Swan being here, Swan having been here during the last global ascension, is that the result, okay, when the door, this is the quote from the Hopi, when the door to the stars opens again, humans must choose to rise in spirit or to perish in forgetfulness once again behind the veil. That's reset. So for those who are going to choose, and I asked, this is the last part, I promise. I asked Spirit because there's like, what if you choose on accident? What if you have a moment of fear flicker up? That's normal for that to happen. It's got nothing to do with anything. You got to be 97% oriented and choosing this dense way. You should this is what I want. It's you only have to be 51% orientated to love to have chose it. So, I mean, that's really good, you know? So that's why we feel this way. And then after the days of ones, so after the 11/11 portal, between then and January 1st, we're going to be reinvigorated again. We're going to have a lot of energy again. But then Three Eye Atlas gets the closest to Earth the day before the winter solstice. So anyway, there's a lot more I can talk about, but I won't.
yeah, like, I just wanted to add, like regarding their life review for this year and those beings with the 200 mirrors. Like it's very interesting that you mentioned it because like the whole year, like I felt this like nostalgic something vibe going on. And beforehand, like I had my huge activations during 2020 and 2021. And like from that moment on up until this year, like past lives and like the soul as large took center in my memories and life in general. And like in this year, I've really felt like a lot of old stuff, like nostalgia stuff, and like old people who were part of my life way back, and like places, events, and all that are like coming back up again in like a new way to like remember those events from my life up until this point, basically. So it's very interesting, and also a lot of things were like I don't know, like relationships or situations that were like very long, or like they were like I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. So many things basically coming to an end, like things that were a thing in your life for a very long time is like okay, like now it's done.
It's all little
That's
stuff that got lost at the bottom of the drawer kind of stuff's coming up. Go on, Yolanda. Excuse me.
oh, well, no, that's okay. I was just gonna say that's beautiful, and it's a great segue because it does go into this full moon. And then I'm gonna say hi to hi, a new America, and I was gonna say hi to Beth Going because she just flashed across the screen. I was gonna say hi, but yeah, right now with this full moon, there she is. Hello, Beth. With this full moon, there wasn't a lot of note there that, I was just asking, well, what should we even mention about this? I mean, with your typical full moon energy, it's always about revelation, seeing things clearly, lights shown on things you didn't know were happening. This one is going to come with perhaps some surprises, and they're all good surprises, but they might not necessarily feel good, as per the individual at the time. It's a lot. Yeah, and it's a lot what you were talking about, Jay, there too, with just, different things being cleared out. And just let me just read how they put it here. Energies are cleared for optimal, abundance access. And they're calling it a large planetary karmic clearing is what is happening. Now, this wasn't in the message that I posted earlier, but it is and karmic, that word, I don't know about you guys. I don't tend to use that word a lot, and I don't hear you guys use it a lot either, sometimes, right?
It's a heavy word.
It's a heavy word. Well, we assign weight to it, right? But it's really just balance. It's really the natural swing of the pendulum. As things leave, then something can enter. Also, with that balance, it's a balance of frequency, right? It's a balance of what can even survive and exist in your environment at the level that you have expanded. That's basically what it's about. So think about this on a planetary scale, on a global scale. So this is going to apply differently and the word they gave me was substructures. So if you're not new to me, you're not surprised that there's yet another. But they said, I was going to say structures, and they said structures, but substructures. So they're showing me just two different layers, and that has a lot to do with what you were talking about, Pamela, with, what are you choosing? Yeah. In terms of this prophecy? Well, we're talking about the prophecy and the timing, and it is happening now. We are seeing it in real time play out. We are living it. We are playing it out. Okay. And so, yeah, this supermoon is actually very, very important. But nobody freak out, because there are going to be more. This isn't the last cycle, obviously, but this is a big one. And so, again, with the compassionate thing, we're talking about teeth. We're talking about needs. We're talking about inflammation and things needing to be squeezed out of us. You guys, it is more important than many people want to hear right now. And that's literally how it's coming to me, because it is such on repeat. It doesn't seem like an important thing. But this is a lot as it comes in, and you're making that choice to move back into your heart. Guess what? It's got to leave again. And it's all of us experiencing it. And it doesn't have to be on a planetary scale. This could just be towards self. What are we being not compassionate about with ourselves? What are we judging about ourselves, let alone someone else, you know? But largely, I'm just being reminded to say, largely what is being described in this setting so far with these symptoms, a lot of people are going to be experiencing this in large part. And we're just talking about this situation here, okay? Specifically regarding the expression of fluids and all of that, is because you are about to rise to such a high frequency, okay, for lack of a better way of putting it, all right? There's not a hierarchy here, but you know, there's a group of you. Guardian, you're clearly in it. Pamela, you are. A lot of us, pretty much everybody here, you're in there somewhere where you're going to start peeling these layers off. Now, how you react to it could just depend on how sensitive you are to anything, pretty much, you know. But with the gums, when Guardian was talking about the gums, I'm going to try to cut it off after this, I'm sorry. But immediately they showed me more of these conduits, these sieves, and what they are is little tiny vessels that connect again into this large lymphatic system that's also going to connect to your myofascial system. So that's that layer of, I think I'm saying this right, I think it's the fascia is that layer of, I'm going to say muscle. Now I don't know if I'm describing that accurately. But you want to keep all of these things really active so these fluids can travel. So if you aren't sure about what your fascia is, look that up, really do a little bit of light research. You don't have to do much, just a little bit. Even if you get a visual, you will have that memory activated. You know all of these things already. So just look up a little bit about this. Make sure to move your body. That pressure is trying to release. When your mouth is moving, your teeth are moving around, the pressure is trying to release the fluid through your lymphatic. It's going to leave through your urinary tract. It's going to leave, yes, we're going to say all this. It's going to, from the rooter to the tutor, okay? It's trying to come from your ankles to the midsection, from your head to the midsection. Everything wants to leave through the midsection, okay? So move your body. Stay in your heart as much as possible. Doesn't mean don't get upset or angry or anything like that. You can have an emotion. You don't have to be that careful about it. It's just, but bring it back through the heart and remember to see the whole. It is important. So I just wanted to say that.
You're right.
It's sensitive right now. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's sensitive right now. Trust me, even within the light worker community. There's a lot not being said. People aren't expressing their emotions about what it is that's going on. They're afraid to say things, okay? Say it to yourself. You don't have to announce everything to everybody else, but get these emotions out. Look at them. Look at what's going on in terms of within your own mind, you know, because it might be fighting with itself. You might have a little bit of cognitive dissonance happening. That's okay. You do not have to. There's no right or wrong here. There's no right or wrong, but get it out, express it, and really bring it through your heart. And then your body is going to feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. And to listen to your body can be one of the most difficult things to learn how to do, to even hear it, you know? So, but this is a time when it comes to food is the easiest to be able to figure out what it's talking about. Though it's really fascinating because this is something I was just talking to somebody else about last night regarding the teeth and the memory. And it started up because of a movie that my daughter used to love. And it's interesting who's in the audience or who's here in the show today, because the movie's called Rise of the Guardians. And like, yeah, it's this whole like.
Is the owl movie? Or?
Oh, that one's the
No.
Guardians of Gahul is what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one's about Christmas, right? Isn't this one about or holiday?
It's about every holiday. There's like the Sandman too. He's there, and then there's like, you know, the Tooth Fairy. But there's some code in there that got brought up, but it's been this teeth thing, and the idea in this movie, that's not the why I even mentioned it, is that your memories are contained in your teeth. And so that was the whole storyline of what they had, their explanation of why the Tooth Fairy collected teeth was to keep your memories safe for you, for when you would later need to have access to them. And so there was this library of everyone's teeth, their memories. I just feel like that there was something more there, because we were just talking about that. There's been a lot of reports of gum, tongue, just the whole mouth area. And for me, it's been really, there's been a lot of spine stuff. Like when I was with my guides and the couple of yesterday, I don't even know anymore. Time is hard to measure. Like it was about, we're braiding the light down our spine. Like we're braiding it as 3 streams of cord or light, and we're braiding it, and the weaver woman keeps coming in. Like it's crazy. The kinds of, I know I saw this commented too. Everybody seems to be having heightened activity in sleep. Like Jenny's, mentioning here, in this astral space when you're asleep, you notice that you're clenching your jaw a lot too. That might have something to do with some people's unpleasantness, but it's just like everyone's got this teeth thing going on. Even if your teeth are healthy, it just feels like, I think another person I just talked to was saying that she had just gotten back from the dentist. She went because she's like, what's wrong? Why do my teeth hurt? And he's like, you're fine. You're good. This throat activation stuff is actually why that's the picture I put up for the announcement for the group we're going to have later today. Is I did a throat chakra thing about Cookie Monster, but we're noticing a lot of this, and it's connected with what Yolanda has been talking about. Is connected with allowing yourself to speak your truth. But this is the part that Spirit would like me to talk about just for a second, is that what blocks our chakras is what's coming up. And what blocks our chakras, usually we go, okay, well, what blocks our throat chakra is lies. Specific lies is what they're talking about. The lies that you're telling yourself. The lies you're telling yourself about your low self-worth. Saying that you're not good enough. Saying that you're not strong and powerful. Saying that you're not, fill in the blank. That's what they're talking about. Those are the lies that are blocking the throat chakra right now. And so the more that you can you can say it in your mind, say this to yourself. I suggest that you do. Archangel Michael made me. I didn't want to. I did underneath closed bedroom door and under the covers. I'm awesome. It feels cringe because it's supposed to. If it doesn't feel cringe, that's not the one you need to work on. And do it until it doesn't feel cringe anymore. How about this? Say your own name. Mila, I love you. Ooh, that used to be such a bad thing. You weren't supposed to do that, right? I don't know why we were taught that. We all as a culture have learned to like lower self so far, when what they say is that when we humble ourselves, what we're doing is we're lowering our energy to the frequency of these higher beings. We're not meant to lower ourselves below them. We're not meant to. We're equal. We're equalizing the energy. They look at us as ascended masters. It's really bizarre and it feels really weird. We're not full of ego saying we're just overly amazing, but we are. So anyway, that's the whole thing about the throat chakra stuff right now. And there's the esophageal highway that connects directly to the stomach. So you have the throat chakra, the solar plexus are one chakra for that byproduct of it. So there's a lot going on there. It's just, but before I forget, did you guys, if we didn't even mention it, there were 2 big X-class flares, by the way, yesterday. We had an X1.1 and an X1.8. And the comet just barely got to the other side of the sun. So it's turning. It turned all of the backside of the sun on. You can see it, all the flares coming off that around the edges. And now it's starting to turn. It's like, okay, here we go. Back into the swing of things. We knew this was going to happen, though.
Yeah.
So.
And we're just about to enter Mercury retrograde too. And so a lot of revisiting is about to happen. Everything's happening on a larger scale right now, way faster. So the micro and the macro are mirroring each other in such a big way right now. So
when does that happen? Is it the end of the month, or I can't remember.
I think in just a couple days, maybe like Friday, even, we might be back in Mercury retrograde. Yeah.
Where is? Oh yeah. Well, no. Jupiter enters retrograde on a week from today, so maybe
Okay.
it's not on here. That would be funny. Well, and then we're actually still in the retrograde of Neptune, which has shifted the energy when that happened on the 22nd. That's when everything kind of quieted. So you might be expecting it to be quieting for a little bit. Sorry, did I cut you off?
Oh no, who, me? No.
Okay.
No, this is great. I actually had completely forgotten about Mercury retrograde until you started talking about that, and I thought, oh, that's going to be fun. Going through all this, and we're about to head right back into Mercury's retrograde once again, our favorite place to be, where electronics act goofy. And so, things are going to happen. But again, everything is with purpose. So things are going to cycle back around for review, basically.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Well, and something else that's going on with Mercury is Mercury's solar conjunction for the micro moon.
Okay.
You know, like
It's November 9th, by the way. I looked up Mercury's
why is it
retrograde.
not
So I
on
think
my
that might be
chart?
Friday.
Thank
That's
you.
okay. I think it's a short one. Yeah, it's just this month. It's a short one. We're in the shadow now. So there's a big communication overhaul happening, and that's got a lot to do with the cosmic alignments and 3i Atlas as well. So Mercury retrograde, the timing of it is actually quite perfect because we are going to be reviewing communication. People are going to want to come back around to communicate and straighten things out, try to restart things. It's just going to be a revisit of communication. So it's great. It's going to work out fine. Nobody panic.
Nobody panic. Yeah. It's just flickers, these moments of flickers. Like the grand event, that's something everybody always wants to talk about, this big giant event. You're in it, man. We're in it now. This is the event. The way spirit talks, the way channeling happens, really, I feel like, they told me because we use the word spirit. That's just a blanket term. It just gets it out of the way. The way spirit speaks is in Cliff Notes. So they're not going to tell you the whole book. They're just like, Huckleberry Finn gets somebody Tom Sawyer gets somebody to paint his fence, but you don't know all the elements that go into it or the time. So what they're talking about, this solar event started in 2018, technically. And it's continuing to go on now. There is some completion. So what Spirit told me was that there's 1/3 of the third of the planet. So there's 1/3 of the planet that will awaken. The Vedic texts say that 1/3 of the world are real. The way that 1/3 of the people of the world are real. It's just really interesting. You can see these connections everywhere. It's in the Bible too. Anyway, is Spirit talks about it as 1/3 will awaken, and of that third right now 1/3 is awake all the way. Now I'm all the way awake, and you're all the way and everybody in the audience is all the way awake. There's, just to be clear, what I mean by that, you're here. You're not in the throes of denial right now. Maybe not, at least enough to look past it and be here. And between now and June of 2027, the rest of the third will awaken. Like, just to give a measurement there, that's freaking huge. And that's happening right now. That measurement was given a few days or a week or something ago, and so keeping that in mind, we're also collectively feeling the collective saying, oh my freaking God, they've been lying to me. This is this and that's that. And remember, all of us went through it. You might be brand new to it watching this. Now, this is where you are right now. And, those of us who are here right now talking, we've had time to digest it. We had time. So way too much time in most people's opinion. We're just kind of wild away by ourselves. I made up my own vocabulary because I didn't know anyone else was talking about this stuff. Like, this is something we've done over time. And it's like we got to go up to take a sip from a drinking fountain when we felt like it. And all of a sudden someone just disappeared the dam. And all the water's coming at them. They're trying to take a single drink, you know. That's a lot. So we're going to feel them. And some of these guys are going to wake up and want to look for their biggest stick. Not to say that any of us are in danger. It's just, you know, you might see some kind of lit thing playing out in like systems, places where systems are trying to keep people down.
And I want to point out too, some of this kerfluffle has to happen. That's actually how many people are realizing they are the same, that they've been arguing about things that were nonsense. That's the beginning. That's just the beginning. That's not even in the full throes yet. They're at their baby stepping in. Also, while you were talking, I'm sorry, Guardian, I hope I'm not cutting you or keeping you from saying something. Are you okay so far? Because this could go on for just a second. Yeah. Sorry. But the Arturians did want to point out, and they've been saying this to me actually for a long time, but the last couple of days in particular, because of some things that have been going on. And as you guys know, I do tune in everywhere that I wish I wasn't, okay? So believe me, it's important to remember for all of you here, all of you, that never gets said, everyone here, they're saying, the Arturians are saying, it's important to remember that everything is actually consciousness. So when the biblical references and the different sorts of prophecies, whatever religious or frame of thought they come from, perspective they come from, they're coming from within that filter of the time. And so it's not that they're not wrong. They are each connecting a dot for a specific purpose. But everything is actually consciousness. And some of these things that we have thought of as either, and dare I say, AI, believe me, I don't want to bring it up right now, but they are saying, including artificial intelligence, both as we know it now, so what we're seeing unfold, but also what we don't yet understand are the possibilities of organic intelligence, which you would also classify as something like AI, but it is not like the AI that is being, the word threatened even came through from, but which is being sort of placed in front of us, okay? There are different forms of AI. I don't mean to get into this big thing right now, but it is a big deal. It is. But so there's that. There are these non-player characters that we talk about as well.
Yeah.
And those would be the people that we don't believe have connected souls. I hope Guardian's okay.
Can you see me?
I can see you, but you're not moving. Actually.
Okay, everything's frozen on my end, so it's good. I can hear you. You guys are frozen to me too, but you just keep going. I don't know what happened, but
okay. Guardian might have had to leave. I was hoping. Did you hear him say anything? I couldn't really hear him.
I didn't, but I can't see you guys. I mean, I can't see you moving, so I don't know what's happening.
Well, Mercury retrograde. We're in the shadow. Here we go.
Well, keep going. Keep going. Did he leave did he turn his camera off, or is he gone?
He might have, unclear. So if anybody can be in the chat or is in the chat and wants to say anything, just let us know what you see that way. But I'll just make it short either way, Pamela. Long story short, everything is consciousness. Yeah. And some of these things are going to develop differently than what we expect. And it's going to be guided by us. It's important for us to put our heart energy, our heart chakra energy, filter it into everything, even what we think about things, how we're going to guide things moving forward. But of course, there are these different layers to what's happening. So some things we won't even see happen. We'll be living a different experience anyway. Right. So I think that's what they wanted to say. I'll leave it at that because I can't really tell what's going on, but
I can't either. But thank you for your message. I know that most of this is heart-centered, heart-based, and so consistency with this message is really useful, because then we can get validated too, you know, and
Right.
keeping this in mind.
Here,
Oh
now,
no,
message here. He says he's here, but we can't see him. Can you see Guardian at all? I'm sorry.
now my screen went all the way black.
Oh, okay.
I don't
We may
even know.
He said, so Guardian says he can't see you, Pamela. I don't even know how to use this chat here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so I'm telling Guardian that we can't see him. And I have no idea I don't think that the people, Guardian says the AI message was too powerful for the servers. Now, Pamela, can you hear still right now? Are you able to hear? Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, we may have to end it. Okay. All right. Let's see. If there's anybody in the chat that can say anything, let us know what you can see or hear.
Okay, I guess we're back. Sorry about that, guys. You're gonna let you put you back in conversation. How do I come on? This thing.
Oh, okay.
Hold
We're
on.
coming back.
All right.
Man.
There we go.
And we're back. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Oh, wow. I'm not sure what happened. Like too much Arcturian energy.
Guardians. There it goes. Oops.
Oh,
I
we
have a
lost-
delay
yeah.
on my computer. Now I'm black again. There we wait.
Okay.
What the
We
heck?
lost
Guardian,
Can-
sorry, dude. Here he is.
There we
Okay.
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 Hi, guys.
go.
We were
Sorry
just
for
talking about
technical difficulties.
retrograde not a minute ago.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah. Okay. Sherry says Lucy broke it. Yeah.
oh,
That's really funny.
I'm gonna have to get used to keeping this on my iPhone so I can see what the heck is.
I don't know what it looked like on mine. Yeah. Seems delayed
Yeah, I
technically
think we
too.
have
Like
some
the
internet
comments,
issues.
I think I should just not click the comments for now, but I just want you guys to know I am reading it. And oh, by the way, I gotta say, Sherry's 45th, I think, anniversary. So happy anniversary,
Oh,
she.
happy anniversary,
Lots
Sherry.
of glitching.
Congratulations.
Yeah. That's awesome. So I did get all of what you were saying, and then Guardian wasn't able to be seen or something, and I don't know. So here we are. where I don't remember what we were talking about.
We're
Throat chakra
about that everything is.
and
Oh,
everything's
go
what
ahead. Consciousness.
you said.
We were
We're
on
talking about
talking
everything.
about
Yeah,
right.
and being reunited. I think there's a delay, so like that's okay. That just happens when we're. Yeah, it never happened before. It's crazy. Like I've never seen that happen. The gifts as they come in as part of that are turning on for you. Your I call them the clairs. Like you get clair drops, right? I prefer saying clair drops over downloads. You know, it's pretty. But like keeping this in mind, we're getting so our clairaudience, our clairvoyance, our clairsentience, our clairs, those types of clairs are coming in a way that we hadn't have access to before, which is really fascinating because there's such a strong energy of the Arturians and the Sirians connected to this moment. And I find it really fascinating. Then we have Yolanda Marie, who does the Arturian, connects with the Arturians the most, and then Guardian, who connects with the Sirians the most, you know? And we're actually going to do something soon for you with
Yeah,
that,
on
but
the
yeah, I don't know if you want to
11/11.
mention that now or later on.
Ooh, I want to
Yeah,
know.
like we can briefly mention it if you want to. Like you're going to be the
Yeah, you
host,
wanna-
so please do introduce the event.
All right. I can't tell if you guys can see how because everything looks like a robot. On the 11/11 portal, some of you've already come to these type of situations before. We do these, but it'll be like a Zoom meeting. It won't be live, it won't be streamed, and so you'll want to join live on the Zoom to attend. And Guardian connects to a group, a Syrian group called the Tehe, and he'll be able to, he'll be in channeling state, so he'll be like in a trance kind of state and not able to do like the host kind of stuff. And so I will be. Also, I'll be the host, and I'm gonna anybody questions read for them. I'll read them, and I'll also keep track of who's into this collective. You know, you can get input and assistance, guidance, and if you can speak, it's even better. You know, that always helps with this channel thing. And so that's what we're doing. It's going to start at. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I think we were like going to start it at the same time as we did this event, but it's going to be on the 11th. So please do join in.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting event. We haven't done it, I think, in 1.5 years now. I think we did a really big gap between those events.
That sounds amazing.
At least a year.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's tuning in that is tuning in via me, like because I shared this as well, and you don't know a lot yet about Higher Vibrations Pamela or Mela and Guardian Jay Zoltan, but we call him Guardian. This is something that you're probably going to want to attend. Guardian is very, very intuitive, skilled. He is a great channel. He is a wonderful light language activationer. I'm going to say is that I don't even know if that's a title, if I'm saying that correctly, but he uses light language to activate, heal, bring things into balance in different areas of your life. He does this on his channel as well. So most of you might already know that, but I don't know who's tuning in who wouldn't know that. So I do want to say that. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed to Pamela or Jay, you should subscribe. That helps their message get out. The more subscribers somebody has, the easier it is for their message to get actually shared. So it's not like an ego thing. You know, it's not like a competition or any stuff like that. It's just to help elevate the message, or rather push it out, okay, via the algorithm, so more people have access. Okay, same with liking a video. That's so silly, right? Like, why is that a big deal? Like, who cares? Well, yeah, ultimately, who cares, right? You're here and your energy is here and you're benefiting. But if you were to like the video on Guardian's channel and Pamela's, it helps shoot that video out. into the algorithm for those that are rightfully so just, coming on YouTube to get information. Like you wouldn't know that. YouTube changes algorithms on us like people change underwear. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
how much it changes, and it makes it very difficult for people to get really good information. And God forbid we say anything that's against like some sort of weird social standard. Okay, so yeah, so it really helps when you like or you subscribe, or at least one or the other anyway. But
It's
Pamela,
unfortunate, but it's true.
yeah,
You know,
Like for
in
example, like
fact,
people, yeah. No, I just want to share, like, for example, my channel like grew really well when I was sharing these channel messages. Starting with 2020, like I have 17,000 subscribers, but only like 5% of them get to watch my stuff because
mhm,
YouTube decided that sharing my stuff is not cool or profitable, or I don't know. So,
right.
yeah,
And there's
but yeah,
unsubscribing people without your
yeah,
consent. I've had people email me upset and they've taken time to cool down before they've emailed me. So it happened a long time ago, but people will notice that they're unsubscribed. We cannot unsubscribe you on your behalf. YouTube does it. Okay. Just so you know, we would never unsubscribe you. Like, why would I do that? And so if you are noticing you're not getting notifications, I encourage you to go check out your subscription, see if you're subscribed, and then you can receive notifications. Thank you, Andrea. New subscriber, my beautiful spiritual sister, brother, and family. Thank you. It really does help. It's. I don't like to say it. I don't like this topic because it's that I don't want to tell anybody to do something. However, it's very true. It's very true that we get, um, shadow banned. Yeah, that's right. And I Elsa's been fun because she pays attention. She'll take screenshots for me and show me, like, we got all of these views, and then they take away thousands and thousands of views. Like, how do you unview something? And it's okay. I don't. But just like you were saying, it mattered to me when I was a new content creator. It did matter. I noticed. I'm like, I got 3 views. Like it really mattered. And when they are taking them away, then what I'm trying to suggest is just to encourage what Yolanda had said earlier. Don't focus on the numbers the best you can, because it doesn't. Keep speaking your truth, keep speaking your message, doing what you are drawn and guided to do, and it doesn't. I find it really fascinating is that when we talk about some hot point kind of topics, all of a sudden we have a huge subscriber dump and the views get cut in half. Like, I see it.
yeah.
I notice,
Well, there was a
so
pattern in the past when I was like doing these global meditations and it just disappeared, or people couldn't view it. So,
yeah.
that's crazy. And there's something that I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have. And especially in the beginning when I started, midway, something like that, I would share somebody's video because you guys know I like to share, and I've been doing a little bit less of it. But the only reason is because I noticed about 2 years in that if I shared someone else's actual video, not a post or anything like that, but someone else's content with the thing on it, and there's a reason I'm saying this, okay? It would not shoot out my video anymore. Like, people would not be able to, like, it wouldn't suggest my video. My subscribers wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
Why is this a big deal? It's like YouTube is making us compete with each other when we should just be supporting each other. So I'm just trying to share other people like, hey, this is good information. And they're like, okay, well, then we're not going to share yours. So now I sprinkle it, I try to just share a little bit here and there, and then make sure there's access to the channeled information that you might need that day to get activated. You might need that information. So for those of you out there who aren't sure about sharing and all this and how that works, there is something to that. So we want to share your stuff. I mean, I know for sure I do. I know everybody here does, but that is what's going on and why it might be that kind of like sporadic.
Right.
I
yeah,
don't know
like
if
I
you
also
think
want to
that.
add, like the light just mentioned on my end. The right people will see it. This is not for
Yeah.
everyone. So very true.
Right.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Here it is. Yeah, exactly. And just follow your own guidance and be in your truth, and you'll see that you're. It's weird. I don't know why exactly it is, but for the most part, those who plant the seed rarely get to see the tree blossom. And that's not because there's something wrong with you, or, sometimes we get to see that person will come back around again. I've had that happen. I've had high school people reach out to me being like, remember when I thought you were crazy? No, you did. But like, there's, and they're finding these videos. They're here with us, and it's, I don't think that that's super common. It's just a position that I happen to be in, that they were able to find me. You know what I mean? Most of us, we also will see that, our loved ones, even close to us, like our spouse or, someone very close to us, it is less accessible for us to deliver the message to them than it is somebody they just met. And it can be offensive to people. But this is like a real conversation topic right now. That's why I'm talking about it, and just keep that in mind, that you're here to cultivate the environment. They call it a thankless job. Mm-hmm. However, the kind of intrinsic value and of not only assisting the loved one that's in your life, but also the collective in this way, it makes it more than worth it, energetically and in an everlasting kind of way. Hey, it's 222 right now. And lastly, I just add something. One more thing is this throat chakra stuff. That's why I do these Zoom meetings every week. I'm doing it today. I do it every week for free. It's a gathering of people, so you have a place to practice using your throat chakra, because so many of us have experienced persecution, ostracization, and a variety of other things, not only in this lifetime, from talking about what they know and believe and experience. Here in this container, this Zoom meeting, you're able to share these things naturally. And it's cool because you don't even need to give the backstory. We all already get it. We are on this with you. And so if you do want to join, the link, you'll find the link in the announcements of this YouTube channel is in the community section. You can also find it in the Telegram groups. So since it's throat chakra, we should probably remind people that there's other, and not just me. I know other people are doing stuff like this too. So if you can't come to mine, come to somebody else. Excuse me. I'm not wrapping it up unless you guys are ready to wrap it up. I was just talking about that last.
That's okay. I did want to say something about that family. Go ahead, Guardian. Do you have something to say?
No. Please continue.
This will be short. When Pamela was talking about not being able to get the message to family members or people who are familiar with you, especially, there's a reason for that. They have been living with you in this quantum bubble of information, basically like your shared field, and that's the information they have to go on. So when you clear that out on your end, a lot of that trauma out and a lot of these things, and you're very awake, they are unable to relate to that. They're still looking for the information that they're used to. So you're coming through that old quantum stream to them, if that makes sense. So they literally can't see you, accurately at all. They won't be able to hear what you're saying because they're going to identify it as false information, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, this is something that's really weird, and I'm just going to tell you guys, this is weird lately. First, people started to it was almost like they were remarking to themselves. They weren't really even talking to me exactly. I've been getting this a lot, where people are just they'll just say, "Are you real? Are you real?" But they'll say it softly. I'll be standing in front of somebody for a while, and then they're just like, "Whoa, you scared me. You just appeared. And like, no, I've been standing here waiting for you to notice because, like, and then so all that weird stuff's going on. I'm like, this is weird. Like, am I oscillating between these different time frequency dimensional spaces? Are they able to not physically see me? Right? Or am I looking different? They're asking if I'm real. But then I'm not making this up. There are people who ride their bikes long, walking their dogs, jogging, stuff like that, right? I'll be outside doing something and I'm just naturally looking in that direction. So I'm seeing them. They freaking disappear. Not that I got a block in front of my eye. Like, I'm seeing everything, right? They're just gone. But then about the perfect amount of pace it would take them to get to the other look, then they reappear like a freaking movie that's got some kind of glitch. Are we not able to see people that are vibrating at this lower frequency, or what is going on, right? Like, what?
There's definitely something to that. It's difficult to feel them, and the other anomaly would be, or I guess odd thing would be, that we feel so different. So it's almost like if we're buzzing so much, we don't notice we're buzzing anymore, if that makes sense. Okay. But to somebody who is moving their, let's just say, molecules, okay, as rudimentary as that might sound, I mean, it's like, okay, is that what's happening? Well, at a certain, from a certain perspective, yes, actually. So if they're vibrating so much slower and then they're bumping up against something that's vibrating very, very fast, it's going to feel like an electric shock, like buzzing.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that some of you out there might be able to relate. I now, if I'm paying attention, or if I ask myself, why is this interaction weird? Why is this odd? I'll feel it. I'll feel like this sort of like friction, and I can feel myself buzzing again where I didn't feel it a second ago because I wasn't looking for it. I'm used to it. We all walk around like that.
Yeah.
So, but then the opposite is the birds will come to us automatically. Flocks of ducks will follow us. Geese show up. Weird things. I'm naming a lot of birds, you guys, because I got a lot of birds around me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at birds. Yeah, but you get the point. Like different animals and really sweet people you never noticed in your community suddenly pop up to you. So yeah, I definitely feel that this is a real phenomenon that's happening more and more.
I had a wild road runner jump up on my knee.
Whoa.
It was the weirdest thing. I was like, okay. I'm like, where's the coyote? And then I heard the howl from really far. It was perfect timing. It was perfect. Yeah. We have coyote around here, though. You can always hear them in the distance, But.
Yeah, but you called that in. You see how you
created
that? The road runner showed up and you were like, where's the coyote? And he was like, well, cue the coyote.
Yeah.
We are becoming instant master manifestors, though. We're laughing, but that is true. You literally created that, called that up. You realize.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
freaky. Love it.
We're writing the script as we go.
As we go.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. That's why there's so many ironies and synchronicities, so many redundancies, is that it's what we're focusing on, Like,
the light,
and that's the point. What are you focusing on? Choose your focus, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
That's what we've been repeating for many, many months now. Like, things are super fluid, so be careful what you're putting your energy into.
Yeah. Exactly.
Agreed. I was just going to quick say, I didn't mean to cut everybody off, but I saw the light come in and say something about peeling the layers of an onion, how it's like all this is starting to unravel.
There are many dimensional layers, like an onion.
Yeah.
Like a parfait. Who would like parfait? Sorry. I love that movie. I actually finally got my daughter to watch it. She's never wanted to watch it her whole life. Shrek. And that's where the
Which
onion.
movie? Shrek?
Yeah, Shrek.
Oh. Okay.
And the parfait joke came from that. She just barely recently watched it.
It's been so long since I watched the Shreks, though. Is that the very first Shrek, or which one is that?
Yeah, the very first one. So he just met Shrek the donkey, and they're walking through the gardens, and he's talking about his layers like an onion, and he's like, Everybody likes parfait. No one ever says I don't like parfait. And he's like, not like parfait, like an onion. Anyway. Well,
Oh,
we should probably wrap this up. It's been an hour and a half or so.
we over,
Despite,
we overextended Guardian. I was going to say, go ahead.
That's fine.
yeah.
We had some technical difficulties in the middle, but now we're back. So,
I wasn't sure if we were going to pick back up or just let that be the end of the call for a minute there. But I had to
yeah,
actually shut off my computer by hard press to get that to
Oh,
figure itself out. I had too many windows open, probably. I had a lot because I wanted to show you guys a bunch of stuff and I didn't grab any of the screens.
I
But
think you're letting Mercury off easy.
yeah, there is a lot of energy that will be moving through us even more, especially. So that's on the 9th, what you were saying. So like,
Yeah.
that's just in a couple of days, really. And then Lemon's at perihelion. Lemon is the other comet that people aren't really talking about. It's at perihelion on Saturday. That's in 2 or 3 days from now. And also remember the peak illumination of the superest of the super full moons for the year already happened at 7:19 a.m. this morning Central Time. However, you can still get some awesome full moon energy if you are somebody like me that likes to clear your crystals in the moonlight or to make moon water. That tonight would be one of the nights to really consider doing it. It's a big, awesome supermoon, and just put it in a glass container, try to have a clear top to it, stick it outside, and see what you can. That will help you. That moon water is aligned for frequency water, and that a lot of this digestion kind of stuff will kind of be resolved, or some of it will be lightened with small doses of it. You don't have to drink a whole glass of it too, it's really neat.
And remember, all this is magnetics. So as we advance, we are going to learn more about what's actually happening from a technical perspective and use it very purposefully in different ways. Just all of that type. That just wanted to be said. That's coming, and it's coming fast. That's going to unite these different perspectives, as we were talking about. People coming in from different, because they are awakening, regardless.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So there's, keep your hands and your feet in the ride at all times and enjoy the flow. Remember what Guardian said, it's the flow, and flow as best you can. Remember that you're not meant to be the banks of this river, but the river itself. It's not the banks that carve the planet, it's the water, and letting her be that flow. If you're divine masculine in body or divine feminine, if you're a guy or a girl, you still have both qualities. And so right now is really a time that's calling in this divine feminine energy. And during this quieting, especially until near the end of January, really, we're going to be in a much more quiet space than usual due to the changing of Neptune from Aries back into Pisces from their retrograde motion. So, use this time wisely, rest, feel yourself back up again.
One more thing I want to say before we wrap up, and I promise this is it. I'm glad you mentioned January slowing down. It's going to flip, where we feel very tumultuous, and by who's we? I just mean people who are awake to this process, what's happening, okay? We're going to smooth out a bit, okay? There is an initiation happening, and it's a big one. Whether you know you're in it or not, you are being elevated. Dare I use that word, okay? Just ignore the word. But you are moving into a role of leadership for a very beautiful, specific purpose, okay? You do have a role. But now what's going to flip is the larger population is going to go into a whole lot. If you think it's tumultuous now, so 2027 for the general population, and I say this, unfortunately, it's not with glee or anything, but we are going to see more crazy stuff. If you dare to look, it doesn't matter. But there will be some other things happening that you will not be experiencing the way you're experiencing them now. Just wanted to say that.
You're right.
It's like an upside down or right side up, right? I guess. I don't know. I guess both of those are terrible ways to look at it, but it will be a displacement. Is a better way to put it.
Well, there's just this thing that spirit never ever tells me to read anything in particular. I've never been told by spirit before this moment to read the Bible, a specific part of the Bible. They said Matthew 24, and in Matthew 24 it says, you will hear rumors of famine, you will hear rumors of war, yet they will not touch you, for you are the elect. The elect is another word for the chosen ones with a plural. And a lot of things are going to be happening around us, and we're going to hear about them. But it's an echo, too, in many ways. An echo from a world that we're no longer on. We really have separated.
It's also a test. This is also a test we're giving ourselves. This is what the Arturians were talking about earlier with compassion. Yes, we are, or could be considered, the elect that is referred to. But that does not mean we are to shut our heart down, because that is to bite your nose off to spite your face.
Right.
Your heart is what is developing this entire thing. It is where we lead from. If you shut your heart off, will you still be in that number of people who will not experience these things?
Right.
Okay, because from broader perspective, everything is consciousness. That's the point. There's a larger point here. Follow your heart. Yes. Sit over the top at this larger perspective and observe so that you can create what's moving forward. But what are you creating? What is it that you're creating? Okay.
And it's choice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
This is common. This is really a common thing. I'm seeing this a lot of places, because I know we're trying to pull this up. It's just like there's this stuff that's happening where, so if you want to discover some of these things, you might resonate and it might help you. If you've not heard of something called Dark Night of the Soul, perhaps look it up, because this Dark Night of the Soul usually every time has some shedding of relationships kind of thing, and not just romantic, but there's been a like spousal or partner based kind of like turbulence that people have been reporting a lot lately, and also to do with long-term job places of employment for decades and so on. Like, this is the year of the snake. The snake sheds. The snake is transmutation. That's why Guardian has done so many transmutation meditations lately. Like, check out his channel.
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's freaking amazing, the meditations that you do, and like, they really help a lot of people. I get comments on it all the time. Like, people are always mentioning it. Some people, that one you went on the marathon, did it every day for a week, Monday through Friday. There are people who still are doing those every day and going back, cycling through, like, and go back to the Monday again, and the Tuesday. Yeah, like, you really help. And this type of activity really helps for this kind of tumultuous, unbalanced is a better word for this part. It just feels unbalanced, like, and letting yourself clear it out with the violet flame, like, I see it like violet goo, but Guardian likes to burn things. I see.
I'm a guy. I like to blow things up and burn them.
Oh my goodness, that was great.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
gosh.
if you get a chance, check out his channel. And Yolanda Marie posts these awesome shorts every day. These are really frequently these days. It's really useful.
Every day.
So please, if you get a chance, I will go back and make sure that the hyperlink is correct, because sometimes you have to redo it after we start the live. And hyperlink both of their channels to the description of this video, so you can find them if you haven't been able to find them yet.
I will be back on regular videos again soon, but we all had to, it's like we've been in a stasis. I know we have to wrap it up, but yeah, there are reasons, but I'll be back on with regular updates as well.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. Well, thank you both for being here. This was a fun conversation. I really don't want it to end, but we do probably need to wrap it up. Poor Guardian needs to take care of himself.
I need to crash in my bed, so.
Oh,
all right.
Much.
Love you. Thank you. And for those of you in the audience, yes, we are doing a group. So I'll see you in like 2 hours and 20 minutes or so. If you are coming, you'll find the link for that in the community section and in Telegram. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, everybody in the audience. Thank you
Bye.
for your beautiful energy.